Tonight, a North Houston community is feeling relief after flash flooding near Camp Bandina left roads blocked and families worried. A bus finally pulled back into town, bringing home dozens of kids and a wave of emotion. Orko Manna was there for the heartfelt reunion.
To see this bus pull into the parking lot of Garden Oaks Church of Christ in North Houston is such a relief for these families. All these kids spending time this week at Camp Bandina, a Christian youth camp in Bandera, Texas. Flooding from the Guadalupe River and this tree blocking their way out of the camp, causing concern for loved ones.
I missed y'all. So glad y'all made it back safely.
Erica White, grateful to see her 13-year-old daughter Madison Saturday and share an embrace. It's comforting to know all the kids are okay.
We were just praying, and last night was rough, but I was so happy when I could track her on Life 360 and see that they were heading back. So very grateful.
The panic paralyzing, knowing that less than 30 miles north of Camp Bandina in the Texas Hill Country is Camp Mystic. In the wake of the intense flooding Friday, Camp Mystic officials say more than 20 kids are still missing.
That camp isn't too far from where you guys were. So, I mean, how are you processing what happened out there?
We were initially shocked, and we were a little scared, to be honest, but we did pray about it, and fortunately we got through it.
It really shook a lot of the adults. We tried to keep the kids unaware of it.
Youth Minister Bryce Powers telling me his heart is with Camp Mystic right now.
We're blessed to have avoided the storm. We're blessed to be here. You know, we do send our thoughts and prayers out to the families of the people who are lost and who they're still looking for.
Powers calling himself and his campers lucky that the water receded near them so they could come home.
Nature slowed it down just enough for us to get up out of there.
Reporting in North Houston, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News.
Search is growing more urgent in Texas, where dozens remain missing after catastrophic flooding. At least 82 people have been killed. And with more rain in the forecast today, the threat of more flooding is going up. So is the heartbreak. ABC's Allison Cossack on the human toll.
We're learning more about the victims of the flood disaster and the survivors trying to come to terms with what they witnessed.
I had to swim through a window and hold on to the meter box outside of the house.
28-year-old Christian Fell says he stood on the electric meter box outside his home for nearly 3 hours to stay alive.
It was an absolute force of nature that I've never witnessed before.
Amanda Sue Jones, her husband, and 4 kids evacuated moments before the worst of the flooding hit.
From the time we crossed the bridge to when everything's getting swept away was, probably 10 minutes.
27-year-old Julian Ryan died heroically, saving his kids by placing them on a floating mattress. Beloved high school teacher Jeff Wilson, who taught auto body repair, also lost his life in the flood. His wife and son are missing.
He was able to build relationships with kids, maybe kids that didn't fit the traditional classroom model.
And at Camp Mystic, where more than 24 campers were swept away in the night, at least 11 are confirmed dead. Among them, Janie Hunt, the 9-year-old cousin of Kansas City Chiefs owner Clark Hunt. His wife announcing Janie's death, saying, "If your heart is broken, I assure you God is near." 18-year-old camp counselor Chloe Childress is being remembered for her work with senior citizens. The head of her high school saying, "Chloe made space for others to feel safe, valued, and brave." Those who knew Camp Mystic's owner, Dick Eastland, say he died heroically, trying to rescue campers. His grandson writing, "If he wasn't going to die of natural causes, this was the only other way, saving the girls that he so loved and cared for."
He was, a man that made everyone feel safe and seen. He was just an extremely selfless person, and he showed that until the very end.
Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
And stay with Eyewitness News for any new developments related to the Texas.
Well, again, who can stay the Most High's hand and say, "What are you doing?" No one can. The Most High is having his way in the heavens above and the earth below. Not to make light of this situation at all, but I think it's time for people to step aside and see, realize, and recognize the hand of the Most High. He is definitely doing something in the land. America is under judgment, policies, persecutions, all kinds of things, injustices oozing out of Americans' veins. We have to understand that the Most High, he says that he is going to repay the wicked for their deeds. He says that he is going to judge the nations.
All right, 9 Spiral. And so I pulled the video clips from, I want to say the channel's name right. I think the first one was Introverted Rockstar, Introvert Rockstar. And the second one was Redirecting Proverbs 31. All right, y'all go check them out. Subscribe if you want to. But she said something, right? The lady from Redirecting, she said something, right? So what's going on? We do know that the Most High is judging the nations, right? Just like she said. And that was given to Abraham. All right, way back in Genesis 15, I think 12. But before we do that, we want to get some perspective, build some perspective, right? And lend some credence to Genesis 15. Just to know that, right, we're in the right place to be. And so we're going to bring that text to life, and we're going to get a precept from the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra. All right, Ezra was the prophet that got the most conversation and what we call the most drop about the end times, all right? If you're not talking about the end times, then what are you talking about? Because all you got to do is just look around. And this is just an example, right? And it's okay for the descendants of Yasharal, or the biblical children of Israel, right? True. It's okay for us to point these things out. The Most High wants us to see these signs, right? Because I promise you, it's gonna get, you know. I just heard about an earthquake in Russia, 8.8 earthquake in Russia, right? And it's a lot going on, and it's been that way for a long time. Whether you just, catching on to it, or you know somebody that's, catching on to it, or whether people are talking about it, more now, right? It's gonna be just like a pot that's stirring, or boiling water, all right? Take a pot, fill it up with water, put it on the stove and boil it. It's just how it's gonna be. And so everybody will know what time it is, all right? If that makes sense to you. Nobody's gonna get caught off guard. Only, unbelievers, right? And so It's gonna get very interesting. And it's okay for us to point these things out. It's because exactly what the Most High told Abram, Genesis 15, that's exactly what's happening. Your 400 years is already up. So we're in that next phase. All right, we're going to take a look at Genesis 15, but before we do that, all right, let's bring this text to life, all right? Allow me to illustrate the significance of this critical analysis we have right before us. All right, let's rock. Let's go. Read.
And again they began to be more ungodly than were their ancestors. And when they were committing iniquity before thee, thou didst choose for thyself one of them, whose name was Abraham. And thou didst love him. And to him only didst thou reveal the end of the times, secretly by night.
Secretly. Alright. Hey, what's that verse, man? I forget where it's at. It's like, I think it's Exodus or something like that. Most High was stunning. He said, not a dog shall move his tongue against the house of Yasharal, so that these Gentiles, non-Israelites, right? You fast forward to our times, right? That the Most High does put a difference, right? Between who? Them and us. And so what we're saying is, if you look at verse 13, you're going to see a phase. All right, but let's get it. Now, matter of fact, let me go ahead and run through it. All right. Let's start with and shall serve them. All right. We doing that. And they shall afflict them, 400 years, right? Because the Most High does put time limits on Yasharal's captivity. Does put a difference, right? And so once that time limit is up, right? What's next? Verse 14. That's what we're saying, all right? The phase we're in. 400 years is up. All you got to do is look around. Just look around. Now, and judge, right? And also, verse 14, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And judge can be what? It can come in the form of what? Mother Nature. And that's what we see. That's exactly what everybody is witnessing. Mother Nature is going haywire. Especially, in other countries and overseas, and, That shit been happening since that C shit was established in Wuhan. We started seeing that China get their ass spanked then. That was back then, and they haven't caught a break. And so you see how now it's sort of gravitating over here. Shem's lot, right? And also that nation whom they shall serve. And it's more than one nation, right? Because we have served well over more than one. And so that should be nation. Whom they shall serve will I judge. I will judge. And that's what's happening right now as we speak. That's the type of action that we're seeing from Mother Nature, right? The earth is going haywire, and it's going to get worse. He said, in penalties and signs, right, will the end come. And in penalties and in signs, all right? Well, we're seeing their penalties right now. Because, let's keep it real, just like this shit that happened over in North Carolina, right? When Most High dumped a bucket of water up in the mountains. All these floods and what have you, these tornadoes, they ain't fucking up the ghetto. They ain't fucking up no projects. It ain't going nowhere near no knockers. That's not what we're seeing. We're just going off what we are seeing. All right, this has nothing to do with nothing biased, no racial, intentions, nothing like that. Racist intentions. It is what it is. And we're actually seeing it. All right, so I don't know nobody come in the comment section saying, oh, no. We're just going off what we're seeing. And what we're seeing is Gentiles getting judged by the Most High. Through what? Mother Nature. And what better way? So we haven't even gotten to Jacob's trouble yet, right? You know what I mean? So that's what the Most High is doing. All right, and what? And afterwards, once the Most High is finished, dishing out Mother Nature or controlling the weather, all right? And we got the scriptures to back that up 100%. Tenfold that the Most High is doing it. I don't give a damn what they got. Harp, they doing this with frequency. They did that. They turned rain blue. None of it. We don't give a damn. It is the Most High, and the Most High is not giving them any slack. They spray, the Most High summons a storm, and watch that shit right out the sky. That's what we're seeing. Not just me, and I got people to back that up. Because we've been watching for a while. Okay? Let's calm down, everybody, I'm just talking to Yesrael, just be cool. I ain't mean to say calm down, but just be cool, and We gonna ride this thing, you know, and just watch the Most High work. That's exactly what's going on. And afterwards shall they, right? I like the other version. It says, then they shall come out with great possessions. See that? That's how you can debunk that timeline shit, that BC AD shit. You can throw that shit out the window. The Most High, all right, this whole thing is measured in 12 parts. From Genesis until the time the Most High come back. 12 parts. By the time, at the time we got that drop, right? Or when Ezra's got that drop, 10 and a half had already passed. And so what remains is what? A half of a part and 2. 2 and a half. How fucking long do you think that is? I repeat. When Ezra's got the drop about the 12 parts, right? And the prophet Baruch got the same drop. It's measured in 12 parts. When the Most High was dealing with Ezra's, ten and a half had already passed. So what remains is what? 2 and a half. How long? And so when you hear the Most High say, you know, I'm coming quickly, or behold, you know, I'm coming quick, or surely I'm coming, or surely it will happen, or believe me. All right, we're not that far off, and the Most High left plenty of signs. Your parents above they're one of those, you know, they like to keep us informed, all right? And we're seeing it. They left plenty of signs. Almost saying, get ready, all right? Just like he told Ezra's. Pray that your days may be few, that they may be shortened. Why? Because the kingdom is already prepared. All right, read.
And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him.
Come on.
And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
Read.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterward shall they come out with great substance.
There you go.
What are the chances that this matched up with the flood perfectly? Come right back to it. When you see what I've found, there'll be no doubt.
No doubt of what?
Exactly. Again. So while the country is celebrating right now, we have 20 girls still missing from Camp Mystic and 25 people who have all died from the floods. They are saying that by 2 a.m. tonight, the flood is going to be at 45 to 60 foot from 3 foot. Obviously, the river. So I showed you earlier how this hurricane formation stood over Texas right here for 12 to 18 hours, right? Well, look at this right here. This is the Schumann frequency, the Earth's resonance. And it's never been like this before. Neither me nor anyone I know who's been watching the Schumann resonance for years upon years upon years have ever seen this pattern before.